Hey. Hey, I'm Chris Jube, the Glamping Guy, and I'm here to tell you that I left a lot of money on the table over the years by not doing winter glamping. In the glamping world, we'll typically roll up our tents and shut down our glamping units because in cold climates it gets cold. It is a difficult thing to keep up. For the last 2 years of glamping, I've done winter glamping and have made a tremendous amount of money. In this video, I want to just roll out how much money I did make, just be real with some numbers for you, as well as give you 5 key tips and how you can make your glamping operation winterizable so that you too can share in the blessings of winter glamping. This is much nicer in here in one of my glamping operations. This is a container home. The floor is still cold. I have a fireplace, electric fireplace in front of the bed, as well as a heater in the bathroom going. So the elements are still difficult in the winter. But the opportunities are just great. Now let me show you some screenshots of my Airbnb. These are reports that I come out with. As you can see, winter months aren't all that bad, and they're a lot better than leaving things vacant. Now, winter glamping is a little bit more difficult to keep things running. You have to keep things plowed and cleaned up. You have to keep pipes unfrozen, and I'll go over some of those things. But to tell you the truth, you leave a lot of money on the table when you don't do winter glamping. So let me give you 5 tips in making a glamping operation worth it for you. First thing is just accepting the fact it's going to be harder. It's much easier to shut things down in the winter, I grant you that, but don't do that. And besides, people really enjoy winter glamping. I almost have to remind myself of this because I started this way. I was a hunter and I would get snowed in the mountains, and my kids and I love huddling around the fire and sharing stories and whatnot. So winter camping is a thing, just like winter glamping is a thing. But if you accept the fact that it's going to be a little bit harder, you're not going to be making as much money. Really, the summer is easy street in the glamping world. If you accept that fact, then you'll be well suited for opening your place up in a colder climate. Tip number 2 is lower your prices. You just have to. I mean, this supply and demand working its thing. My tents and containers go between $200 and $300 in the summer. In the winter, they go between $100 and $200. It's just that simple. So you can expect cutting your glamping profits in half, but also it will be more expensive. You will have to get more propane. You'll have to shovel the decks off. You're going to have to pay for plowing. Those kinds of things will come into play. So just get used to that. Tip number 3, give them a money-back guarantee up front. If a snowstorm comes, don't stiff them on their rental. In the summer, when demand is much higher, you could maybe hold back a refund if somebody cancels last minute. With glamping, if a snowstorm rolls in, an ice storm, sub-zero weather, I'm extremely flexible with my winter glamping refund policy, and I suggest you do the same. I call it our golden rule policy for glamping. Wendy and I treat people like we would like to be treated when traveling. If we're vacationing and the weather makes things miserable for us and we have to cancel, we would expect a refund also. If they withheld the refund and said, sorry, this is too late within the cancellation policy, I would not feel very good about that either. And that's how we treat our guests. The golden rule policy, we treat others like we would like to be treated when traveling. Tip number 4, offer amenities that make winter glamping enjoyable. We usually charge for our 20-gallon propane tanks, but not in the winter. We provide them one for free and say, hey, here you go. Use it up all you want. If you use more, then we'll charge you, but that first tank is free. Do those kinds of things for your glampers and do things that come out of the blue. We pulled our sleds out for a family of glampers that came in when the snow fell. I swept off the car of one of our glampers one morning, and they really appreciated it. And of course, we give extra blankets for the glampers, especially the people in the tents. We even have a couple of 0-degree sleeping bags rolled up in the corner in case the nights get particularly cold. And of course, we provide heating elements for them, extra heating elements like spot heaters for containers like this. We have a spot heater that someone could plug in case they get extra cold. And in our tents, we have larger propane heaters that help for them. And finally, tip number 5 is send out a warning email 3 days before arrival. This can be templatized, but it should offer 3 things in that email. 1, reiterate your refund policy. If there's a snowstorm in the forecast, they might want their refund. And just reiterate, we're here for you, so here's here's a reminder of our refund policy. Secondly, remind them of those free offers that you have, those amenities, the sleeping bags, the free propane tank, whatever you have, the firewood, whatever you have for them. You remind them of that this is what you can expect when you get here to make your winter glamping experience enjoyable. And then finally, it's kind of asking for forgiveness ahead of time, is ask for their understanding. Say, hey, look, we want you to enjoy the winter glamping, but please understand if there's freezing pipes, if things don't work out, if you get bad weather and it's cold, just be understanding that we are opening up our glamping place for you to have a great experience. Please be understanding if the weather doesn't really work out for you. So I hope you offer winter glamping in your operation. Hey, if you have some other ideas, post them below. I'd love to hear them. As well as like and share and all that jazz, because I'm excited about these videos and I just want to make more to help the glamper community. I'm Chris Jube, the Glamping Guy. See you at the next video.